Hey, how you doing? So today we are going to talk about hair loss, and there's different reasons behind hair loss. So many different reasons why. There's so many different types of hair loss. So not just the reason behind the hair loss, there's different types of hair loss as well. So I am not able to address all of that. I am not a physician, clearly. However, I do have experience with one particular hair loss that just so happens to be, in my opinion anyway, the worst. Let's talk about it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
So, the hair loss is getting the shine for today is called Centrifugal Cicatricial Alopecia. That is abbreviated CCCA. I'll say it again, and I'm only gonna say this one more time because I even hate saying the whole word out because it's utterly ridiculous. Central Centrifugal Cicatricial Alopecia. That's a mouthful, right? So we're just going to, I'm just gonna be stating the abbreviations during this talk because it's just easier to do, right? So CCCA, when I say it's the worst type of alopecia, in my opinion, and many of us who have been diagnosed with it at some point in our life feel the same. You got the traction alopecia, you got another one that starts with the A. I cannot pronounce it. It's areata or something like that. And then there's a few more. All of which, what I have read, it's always an exception to the rule, right? But you can grow your hair follicles back. I mean, you can grow hair back in those cases. With CCCA, once those, if you don't catch it in time, and once those follicles are scarred, because it's CCCA, and you also, if you do any research, it's AKA scarring alopecia because it scars and permanently damages the hair follicles. That's why I call it the worst. The other alopecias, they do damage as well, and it could damage the hair follicles. But with CCCA, it's aggressive, and it's not necessarily due to some of the other issues or some of the other reasons for the other types of alopecia or hair loss, which could be, the pulling and the tugging of the hair, and and it'll start causing hair loss. So if you have some sort of, medical condition, chemotherapy, you have some sort of cancer. I know that's on the far end of the spectrum, but I'm just throwing it out there. That's causing the hair loss. With CCCA, it scars it damages the follicles, and quite often there's no known cause as to why it's happening. So I felt like I share my story. It's so many stories on YouTube or, you know, other social media platforms, but I figure why not? I'll share mine because I am a CCCA survivor, and I felt like I might as well add to the group. Why not? Maybe someone out there that can take some advice or tips from me as well, that may work for you. So I was diagnosed with CCCA in 2020. Yes, the year COVID, you know, made itself known. For real. It was already around, but it really blew the hell up in 2020, right? So I had already had some minor hair loss that was going on years prior. I'd say that I noticed probably like in 2015-ish that it was, but it wasn't nothing major. I just thought I was getting older, no biggie, right? And so come 2020, I started having like what would be considered like symptoms. Because before I wasn't having no symptoms. It was just like, you know, getting a little thinner, but not enough for me to spaz out about it. And I wasn't having any quote unquote symptoms necessarily that I recall. But in 2020, I'd say probably like the spring, my scalp started getting real sensitive at the top, like the crown. It was itching, it was burning, and at times I felt little bumps. So I don't know what the medical term for that is, but I felt little bumps because I didn't know this at the time, but it was inflamed. My scalp was inflamed. And so I thought that it was, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I thought, hey, this is something that I knew that my mom had dealt with prior. Now with my mom, she never went to a doctor. She never did anything. She just started making her own hair product, or just some things at home with natural ingredients and stuff. And she did a big chop. She did go completely natural, and it just corrected itself. I think she did that for maybe a year or two, corrected herself. Like I said, never went to the doctor or nothing. So I did look at her and say, hey, I'll do the same thing. But the difference between me and my mom is I'm gonna run to the doctor. I stay at like, I just do, maybe because I have a healthcare background, but it's like, I'm gonna go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, specifically the dermatologist, but I didn't go until September of 2020. So for those first few months, I was just trying to figure some stuff out. But I went in September, went to go see a dermatologist. Upon a physical examination, she said that it was probably more than likely 9 times out of 10 CCCA. However, she needed to do the actual test because that's the only way that they can 100% confirm it's that type of alopecia due to there being several types of alopecia. So she did a biopsy. It was pretty straightforward. You know, it wasn't painful like that. They give you an injection in the area that they're going to biopsy and or, you know, take for the biopsy. And, you know, it was, like I said, it was pretty straightforward, nothing major or extraordinary about that part. And so when the results came back that that's what it was, the dermatologist, you know, having that conversation. So these are your options, because if we don't stop this now, you know, she was like, you got a nice grade of hair you know, originally, and to prevent any more hair loss, I would suggest throwing a kitchen sink at it. So the kitchen sink for her at the time was Rogaine, steroid injections, yes, steroid injections in the scalp. And I think those were to be 4 to 6 times, I'm sorry, every 4 to 6 weeks. She also suggested oral meds. Those could be anti-inflammatories, cortisol, steroids. They can, the meds could be various things. She also mentioned a high potency multivitamin. I'm not gonna say the name right now, but it's a high potency vitamin for hair loss. You can Google it; it'll come up. It starts with an N. And also alternative treatment. Now with this one, though, let me go back to the vitamin. The vitamin, just to let you know, it is about $75 to $80. So it is a cost to that. It is not covered by insurance. So if you can do that, it's a high potency vitamin, so it's good for you, regardless, but there's a little cost to that. So the other alternative treatment was some sort of platelet injection where they take the blood and do something to it and then they inject it into the scalp. Well, I'm gonna just tell you now, the only options that she mentioned that I did was the Rogaine. I did that for 2 weeks. I got 1 steroid injection, and I said, you know what? There has to be a different way. I get it. And I'm telling you now, go to the doctor. I'm not telling you don't go to the doctor, but because you need the diagnosis, you need to know exactly what it is instead of guessing. So you can know how to, because the treatment options may be different, right? Or the direction you want to take. But I just felt like, you know what? Okay, I understand the medical component of this, like the medical options. Is there any natural alternatives that I can use to try to deal with this? And that's the way that I wanted to go. Being, like I said, having a background in healthcare, I do understand the importance that there are quite a few things that could be cured or that would help bring, some of the issues and the problems that we have in our bodies by taking a more holistic approach to it, as opposed to just using medicines all the time. It's there if we need it, but again, there's other options. So I ended up just going online, Googling, researching, just trying to find these alternative natural options. And I ended up running across a woman who is a CCCA survivor. And what ended up happening was, in a nutshell, she did the same thing, went to a dermatologist. They gave her the option. She said, okay, I got it, understood. I don't recall if she ever did anything the medical quote unquote way, but it wasn't short. I don't think it was, if she did, it wasn't that long. And she decided, you know what, there has to be a different way. And she ended up creating her own hair products for herself, natural, organic products. And she ended up curing her condition. And from there, she ended up making a business out of it. So she still seems to be very successful. So when I saw her story, that has the same condition, relatable, and she's selling products that I am looking for, I'm saying, hey, why not? And she had so many positive reviews and testimonies of people who whose hair has grown back. Now, whether or not they have CCA, I don't know, because again, there's different types of alopecia. Her products aren't just for CCCA. That is something that she talks about, or her products could be, I guess, you know, because that's her story. So it's kind of catered to that, but it's for, to me, any type of hair loss. So, yeah, so when the individuals that given the testimony, they say the hair grew back, it's one or two things. Since CCCA is a scarring, it scars and permanently damages the hair follicles. And if you see or hear a person say, my hair grew back, you have to look at it like this. Either one or two things. Either the hair follicle wasn't completely dead, and whatever treatment was a medical or a natural way, they were able to save it and revive it. Or there's enough hair around those damaged follicles where it's, you know, it's full enough where you can't really tell that there was that much hair loss. You know what I'm saying? They caught it in time because it's documented, and you can do this your own research. Once that hair follicle is dead, it can't be revived. That's medically speaking. Now we can go into I can pray over my follicle and it'll come back to life. You know, Yeshua, you know, it was raised from the dead. Look, I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm not doing this. Textbook medical saying the follicle cannot, once it's permanently dead, it cannot. That's it. You can do with that what you want, okay? My situation, I was able to, I lost a lot of hair. Now, I purposely got my hair down today with no wig on, no nothing, so that you can see it. You look at my hair, you can't tell I have hair loss. Most people back then could tell I had hair loss, but I knew I had hair loss. They would be like, yeah, you're fine. I'm like, in my head, doing my hair every day, I know I have hair loss. It was way thicker at the top, because that's where this CCCA targets, is the crown, like all the way, like back here, and then it can go up in here. So I lost quite a bit of hair up in this area. It just so happens my hair is naturally thick, or has been on a thicker side. And again, I was able to catch it in time where the hairs surrounding those follicles, and probably the ones that weren't completely damaged, ended up getting revived. And the ones surrounding it ended up becoming a little bit more robust from the things that I was doing to save it. So you can't tell, but if I part my hair and stuff like that, there are areas that are a little thinner, and especially up in here, it's much thinner. But anyway, so with that being said, I reached out to this particular lady and I did buy some products from her. She gave me a consult on some things to do, which I'll share with you. I'm not doing all of these still because I'm past that phase, but I wanted to share with you a few things that she suggested. One is to do Listerine and apple cider vinegar rinse. I still do those because those are really good. It feels so good. It just, you know, it just feels so good on your scalp, because what you're trying to do is lessen the inflammation, because that's all it is the CCCA stems from something in your body is inflamed. It's causing the inflammation. It just so happen to be targeting your scalp. Real quick, the reasons behind the CCCA, just to let you know, like in my mom's case, I don't know if she had CCCA. She could have had another type of alopecia. for her not having to go to the doctor and just was able to, get it under control herself. Yeah, so I don't know, but it could be hereditary. It could be from hair practices, relaxers and stuff like that. That don't apply to me. I haven't had a relaxer since probably 2000 and maybe 13. That wasn't my issue. The only thing that I was doing in my hair was putting, what do you call it? Semi-permanent hair color to try to cover the gray. The box, the little box, whatever, in the beauty supply stores or CVS or whatever. I would buy those and do those like every 6 weeks. But I didn't start doing those to probably like maybe 2015, 2016, maybe 2015. I started doing those or whatever. To cover the gray. But anyway, so she did, this particular woman, she did say that I needed to stop that as well, because at this point, you don't need to be putting nothing extra on your scalp. It needs to heal. She also stated that I needed to, she suggested me taking pumpkin seed oil, biotin, and liquid silica. I did do the liquid silica a little bit and the biotin, but I didn't stick with it. But I continue with the pumpkin seed oil pills. She also suggested changing the diet, which makes sense. If you have an inflammatory issue and it's internal, and again, you ain't got no medical conditions, no nothing, then you need to help yourself by ingesting anti-inflammatory foods and beverages, right? So no alcohol, or you need to limit it, limit. Fried foods, no. Processed foods, no. All that stuff. So at this point, you need to really do the best that you can to go on an anti-inflammatory diet. You can Google it, look it up. No over manipulation of the hair. That should go without saying. You need to go natural if you can. That's highly suggested if you're not already. If you're not, I don't know, because if you're putting relaxers, it's like you're putting chemicals on a burn. Like your scalp is inflamed, it's sore, it's whatever, and you steady putting relaxers on it, it's going, what do you think is going to happen? The whatever it is, the hair that you get, it's about to be gone. So again, if you can go natural, if you can, please do that. No braids, no pulling unnecessarily on your hair at all. What I end up doing, I just was doing twists. That's all I did. Twist, twist, twist. I wouldn't even put heat on my hair. She said, I remember her saying, yeah, you could do heat, but very sparingly. She suggested that because heat for when you do your deep conditioners, I would do my regular wash routine, plait it up with the conditioner on there, put a plastic bag on it, and then put a hat on there. And so that the heat from my body or what have you, or if I get in the shower, that will help kind of infuse, my strands with the conditioner. I do have a steamer, but because of the steamer, the heat is going directly on top of your head. I didn't even want to chance it. So I stopped using my steamer, and I would just do my deep conditioners that way with the with extra wraps around my head or whatever. But if you feel like you have to do a steamer, you're gonna need to be mindful of your scalp, because again, it's sensitive and you're trying to heal that area. Okay, so what else? Stop buying store-bought products. Now, that goes without saying, I'm reaching out to this lady. She has a whole product line. So of course I'm going to buy from her, and all her stuff is organic. So the things that I bought from her was a scalp mist. And those were, it's a spray that you would use to, when you would have when it would become inflamed, or it would become inflamed or whatever, and it helped calm down a particular area. It had a bunch of stuff in there, like peppermint oil. It had a bunch of stuff, but it felt oh so good. So I had the scalp mist, I bought the scalp cream, I bought the deep conditioner, and I bought the protein treatment and the shampoo. So, and I purchased those items over probably an 8-9 month period. I communicated with her a couple of times just to kind of go over my progress, and the thing, just to touch base with her about that. And I eventually ended up not needing to buy as many products, because I got a clue. Hey, we all trying to save money. It's expensive out here, correct? So, and because I'm into natural products and doing my own thing, and being an herbalist and I said, let me try to make some of my own stuff, and whatever I need to buy from her in the future, then that's what I do. So at this point, I make my own shampoo. I make my own hair butters, and oils. And I buy from her now the deep conditioner. I'm not trying to I could, it's real simple, but I like hers, and it's fine. But if I ever get to a point where it's like I can't afford it, then I'll try to make some myself or whatever. Find a recipe online and try to make one. But I still buy the deep conditioner from her and the hair scalp mist. I don't even use the hair scalp mist. I may use it once every 6 months, and that's only because I just want to do something different or whatever. I don't use it that often, but the deep conditioner I do, just because I just love it. It's really great. Now with her products, I'm not gonna say she's inexpensive, but she's not expensive. And sometimes you get what you pay for, I just know that those products in the store is not gonna help your plight, because it got too much stuff in it. Even the ones that saying it's natural, they got extra stuff in it that they shouldn't have in it. And it's best and this is coming from me. She not saying this, I'm saying it. Try to make your own hair care products if you can. And again, whatever you can't make, then buy that. What else I would suggest coming from me, if you have the issue with gray, like I did, at this point I don't care. I've been not caring for some years now. But use henna. I don't know that much about it. I've never used henna, but that's a natural, organic way to cover the gray if you feel self-conscious about it. What else that I would say to do based upon my experience? Because again, you get information from others, you use what's applicable and figure out what works for you, and then over time you find other things, right? So I also suggest Reiki. Of course I'm gonna suggest Reiki because I'm a Reiki healer, duh. So Reiki can also assist with healing your body as a whole, and you can do Reiki to focus on your scalp. And I'm actually thinking about gonna do a Reiki video for alopecia. It ain't gonna just be for CCCA, just alopecia in general. But anyway, you can also listen to Rife binaural and esotronic frequencies. Now, there are those that's gonna say something crazy like, oh, there's no scientific proof. There is some scientific proof. Now, whether or not it's sufficient for you or not, that's on you. But if you are seeking all possible ways to heal the condition before it goes any further, because it can. I've seen women who lost all their hair, okay, for whatever, again, I don't know what all their stories is, if they just sat on it and didn't do anything, or they continue to use the same practices. I've just seen the after effects of not doing certain things or doing certain things, and they they lost all their hair. So if you're at a place where you are having these symptoms, you've gotten a diagnosis that you actually have alopecia, it's not that you stressed out and you losing hair and whatever, or you have a medical condition and you just losing hair. Because if you have a medical condition, it could be the medicine, it could be the condition, it could be a reason on why the hair is falling. Now that's what I'm saying, there's too many different reasons why, and there's too many different types of alopecia. So I just wanted to stick on the CCCA, since I actually have I've actually had a personal experience with it, and I'm some years past that I would say in a stable status from it. Can it flare back up? I have heard that it could. I guess anything's possible, right? But I'll just talk about me. I do drink. I don't drink as much because of the different spiritual things that I have been going through. I'm just not able to, I'm not gonna say I can't tolerate it, like I have some sort of physical reaction to it necessarily. I just don't find that much enjoyment like I used to. But I still do, I drink, I do drink alcohol. I eat pretty healthy at this point. I don't like a lot of the foods that probably maybe pre-COVID that I would eat. Like I never was a big meat eater. That's another inflammatory food. Red meat is what I'm talking about. I never was a big red meat eater, but I did. I did eat it. Now I eat mainly chicken, fish. I eat a lot of salad, a lot of fruit. And again, it's not, I need to lose weight. I thought my weight was fine. I actually think I'm too thin now. I'm not gonna tell you how much weight I lost. Oh my God. But, us sisters mainly, we like our curves, man. I'm just saying, it's keeping it real. But yeah, so I just wanted to touch base about that, and hopefully this helps someone. If for some reason you are interested in knowing, again, I didn't put certain names out there, but if you're interested in knowing who I purchased the hair care products from, she is here. I know it seems like my viewers have been mainly in Brazil, but she does it, I believe she ships out of the country. I'm in the US, of course, but I can, if you put your email, I know you're probably not gonna feel comfortable putting your phone number, but if you put your email or email me or what have you, I will send you her information. If you wanted that specific name of the multivitamin, the high potency multivitamin that start with an N. If you can't find it online, but you should, if you look up hair loss vitamins or whatever, you should see it. If not, I'll send you that information as well. So we're just gonna do a quick oracle pull to close out the chat. All right. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time. This is my third time trying to do these cards. I don't know why. This is my, actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out why that is, because this is my third time doing this CCCA video as well. And I still had a little bit harder time getting my words out. I've already pre-shuffled 1,000 times. Not literally, but you get my gist, get the gist of it. But I wanted to shuffle 3 times on camera for you. And I did charge these cards with malachite crystal, which is a very powerful healing crystal. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. This is weird. This is the 3rd time I'm trying to do this Oracle Master Spirit Guide. Ancestors the Most High, give me a card for the collective. One card for the one card, please. Give me 1 card for the collective. Come on. What is up? Card. And I ain't gotta be the best card. Shuffle. That 1 card, I got 3. It's something with this 3. I had a couple of readings done for different reasons. And this 3 kept coming out. And I keep doing it because I'm like, okay, I'm pulling 2, it's too many. I just want 1. But 3 keep coming out. I don't know. But neither here nor there. I don't know where y'all at or what's going on with y'all, but plan a vacation. That's pretty self-explanatory, ain't it? I know I need me one. Shoot. For real. But anyway, get ready for a magical journey filled with synchronicities. Taking the time to go on vacation can give you a new perspective, spark inspiration that will nourish your soul on the deepest level and bring more joy to your daily life. We all have a bucket list of places we like to visit, and there's no time like the present to get started on working toward making your dreams a reality. So whoever out there need to go on a vacay, do what it do, okay? Because I know I need me a vacation. I called myself going on one last May. It didn't work out so well. Nobody's fault. It just, something happened. And so, yeah, it didn't work out. So I need a redo. That's what I'm saying. And this one, as you can see, connect with your womb. So obviously this one is for my ladies out there. Meditate on drawing forth the creative energy of your womb, your mother's womb or the cosmic womb. This will help you gather insight about creation that the universe is calling forward from within you. By opening up this intuitive dialogue with your womb, you will also better understand what needs releasing. You can do a lot of releasing, meditations, everything on YouTube, baby. Get the going, because if there's something that's going on with you that needs to be released, now is a good time for that. What is, speaking of that, because I have my moon cycles written down. What's coming up? We just had a full moon on the 12th. So the new moon is coming up. Excuse me. I have notes and notes and notes and notes. You got to. Yeah. You got to. So yeah, I don't know why That wound card is coming out. But that lets me know, as the description or the guidebook mentioned, that there needs to be some releasing. So the new moon in Pisces is on the 27th. So yeah, whoever needs to deal with that, look up you some rituals, some meditation things to do that and set that in motion. Because the new moon is also about new beginnings. And if you need to make your products, why not use that time or that window of time to start creating some things for yourself. All right. And last but not least, drink tea. And 21. So for drinking tea, the preparation, and presentation and drinking of tea is an ancient ceremony, one that has a lot to teach us about the reverence and care we can show our guests and ourselves in simple moments. You can create your own personal ritual with any drink, whether it's tea, a smoothie, coffee, an elixir, or soda, with the right intention and setting. Soda, we're not doing soda because this is a CCCA survivor video, so we're not doing soda. You need to drink you some tea, some herbal tea, preferably. Make your own. Go to the health food store, buy you, I'm not gonna even read the rest because we don't need to do that. We over time anyway. Go to the herbal store. Either you can get, and I'm not talking about Jewel. We have Jewel here. I'm in the north. Wherever you at, Kroger, I don't care. We're not doing those teas. Go to an actual herbal shop or go online and purchase you the actual herbs themselves, the individual herbs, based upon whatever recipe that you find online, and put the herbs together and make the tea yourself. Or if you don't want to do that, you don't feel comfortable doing that, then buy it. Buy an actual organic herbal tea. So many stores out here sell it. I sell it. It just, it's real simple to do. Don't buy that stuff at the regular grocery store. I'm not saying that it's not okay, but we're talking about if we are putting into our bodies, we're trying to do a reset. We're not trying to put anything extra that we don't have to. Because when we consume, we have to eat, right? They putting all type of stuff in the food and in the drinks. We can't get away from it, but we can do what we can. So just be mindful of that. The tea, that was a great card to pull because that will help as well. And they do have teas that do help with alleviating inflammation in the body. All right, so that is that. I apologize if this video went longer than what I anticipated, but this is my third time doing this video, and I'm just gonna leave it as is. Even if even one person watch it, whatever. And until the next time, I will holla. Bye-bye.